Being grateful all the time isn't easy, but it's when you least feel thankful that you are most in need of what gratitude can give you: perspective. Gratitude can transform any situation. It alters your vibration, moving you from negative energy to positive. It's the quickest, easiest, most powerful way to affect change in your life. This I know for sure. Oprah Winfrey. On today's episode, I share my views on gratitude, how it has impacted my life, and my gratitude routine that I do personally in the morning, throughout the day, and before I go to bed, and how I incorporate it into my parenting. Welcome to the Empowered Mom Podcast. I'm Nina Piers. I have a bachelor's in psychology, master's in education, and a doctorate in motherhood as a mom of 3. Each week, I will be sharing stories and tangible advice and inspiration to empower you. Hey, how are you? Today, I want to talk about gratitude. It's kind of trendy right now, and we just finished a month of gratitude that ended with a holiday celebrating the concept. And now, here we are, back in the hustle and bustle of life. So today, I want to share my gratitude practice, my thoughts on it, and how I incorporate it into my parenting and get my kids to practice it as well. So seriously, being in a state of gratitude has become trendy. There are specific journals for it, and it's like a buzzword, right? Well, I want to share my gratitude journey with all of you and my thoughts on it. Growing up, grateful was the last thing that I was. I always had less than everyone around me and had it worse off. What was there to be grateful for? But on Thanksgiving, we would sit around the table and say how thankful we were for family, our food, and the house we live in. I don't think there was any meaning around any of it, and I seriously think I grew up in survival mode. So when you're living in survival mode, what is there to be grateful for? I guess to be alive and to still be here, which I was, but I never really expressed that. A couple of years ago, I read a book called The Happiness Project. This was really the first time that I understood the concept of gratitude, and then after that, I remember reading more about it, hearing about it on several different occasions, that when you are in a state of gratitude, it is impossible to feel stressed, anxious, angry, or mad. And there was so much science to back it. But really, the best thing that we can do is to be grateful and see it and feel it for ourselves. So I decided to try it. So this trend of starting the day with gratitude, it actually really works. Ella has to send an email home each week, and at the end, she has to share 3 things that she is grateful for from that week. And it is always, I am grateful for family, soccer, and my pets. Sometimes pets will change to friends, but I don't think anything else has changed since she started writing the emails in 6th grade. There are obvious things that we are grateful for, and we need to be grateful for those things. But when we can change our focus to the small things and find appreciation in the little things that pop up all throughout the day, we start to notice more and can constantly be in that state of gratitude. This year we spent Thanksgiving at the fire station, and Morgan made the kids go around and share what they were grateful for. As a kid, his stepmom made him do this, and he hated it. So of course he needs to pay it forward and torture our kids the same way. They were embarrassed, and here I am as their mom who practices all the time and actually teaches it to others, rolling my eyes at the mocking and awkwardness of it. So as we went around the table, of course, it was family, good company, friends, the food, all the generic things, right? And it was pretty uncomfortable. Ella was stressing out trying to think of what she would say when it was her turn and hope that she wasn't repeating someone else's. And to be honest with you, in that moment, I started to feel anxious too. It was then that I realized that a gratitude practice can be a private and intimate thing. Sharing the big and obvious is safe and not awkward at all. Sharing the little becomes so much more personal. And sharing the little things makes us be more present and aware, which can be hard. It's so much easier to go through life on autopilot and with a negative mindset than it is to be intentional and always find the positive. Remember, gratitude is going to take the negativity out of your life. And when you're in a state of gratitude, you're always going to be positive. And in every situation, no matter how difficult it is, there is always something to be grateful for. So, I want to share my gratitude practice with you all and also how I do it with the kids, because you all know that I get eye rolls when I ask them what they are grateful for, and God forbid if I give them a journal and ask them to start writing it down every morning. So the funniest thing about sharing this is thinking back to my dad when I was in 5th grade. He owned a New Age bookstore. The shelves were full of self-help books, personal development books, and all that kind of stuff, and it wasn't trendy back then. My dad would give me books or try to get me to do some of the things that are such an important part of my life now, and I thought he was so weird. And now here I am today, parenting the same way, getting the same reaction from my kids, but at least it's a little bit more acceptable these days. So starting your day with gratitude. This is proven to change your day. Right when you wake up, jot down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for from the day before. The little things, the moments, the insignificant things, the small things that you appreciated or made you smile. The warmth of the fireplace, a conversation you had, your coffee, getting somewhere on time, maybe even early, the little things. We wake up with a blank slate. It isn't long before we start thinking about all that we have to do and allow the stress and anxiety of our life to creep back in. But if we take advantage of that time when we have that blank slate and turn to gratitude, we will have much better days. The morning routine is something that many teach about, and gratitude is such a huge part of it. And guess what? It really does work. But I don't think you should stop there. No matter how grateful you are, in the morning when you wake up, whatever you list, life still happens to you. The kids wake up, you go to work. The bills still need to be paid. You have to face challenges and deal with difficult relationships and all of that stuff. So something that I have implemented into my day is to recognize the feeling of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, frustration. As soon as I recognize that, I stop myself and say to myself, in this moment, I am grateful for. And then I find something small, something in that moment to be grateful for, and I remind myself of that. So here are a couple examples. When my car broke down, in this moment, I am grateful that Morgan is not at work and he can come help me. When Morgan had to work for Thanksgiving, in this moment, I am grateful that we can visit Morgan at the fire station. It is so easy to throw a pity party for yourself, but it's also just as easy to surrender to gratitude and appreciation. And that feels so much better. And I don't know about you, but as a mom, my mind can be full at the end of the day. Gosh, when I was teaching, I used to lay in bed and would struggle so bad to turn my mind off to actually relax and fall asleep. I took my gratitude practice to my bedtime routine too. As I lay in bed and close my eyes, I think about the day and list all of the little things I was grateful for throughout that day. It allows me to feel fulfilled and calms me down and sets my mind at ease. It is also the last thing that I actively think about, which allows me to get a good night's sleep. I wholeheartedly believe that if you use any pieces of this, you will feel and notice a difference. Your perspective will change, and maybe you can incorporate it all at once, or maybe you're just going to start with a morning routine and work up to all of it. Maybe you will just do it when you remember. Whatever it is, it will be worth it. And once you see the value in it for yourself, you can start to share the practice with your kids. Mine won't journal, and like I said, roll their eyes when I ask them what they are grateful for. So I do it in a disguised way. It works best when we are one-on-one, since it is more of a personal thing. I always model, driving Ella to school early in the morning. I might say something like, I am so grateful for our seat heaters. And then she will chime in and she'll notice those little things and express her gratitude, or we'll have a conversation around it. When we share moments, I will say how special it is and how much I truly appreciate it. While hanging ornaments on the tree and sharing the memories of each ornament, I will let the kids know how grateful I am for those times that made those memories, and also for the moment of sharing them. When the kids struggle in school or sports or with friends, I always recognize the struggle, but then I turn it to gratitude. When Maya messed up on her geography test and was feeling defeated, I turned to the lesson that we can learn through the struggle and how grateful we can be to have that lesson and use it in the future. When Tate struggles in math and needs extra help, I share how grateful I am for his teacher's patience and extra love, and also the time that I have to sit down and work with him on those concepts. When Ella feels stuck or defeated in soccer, I quickly share her growth and we appreciate opportunities and solutions. Whenever I am one-on-one with the kids, I point out the special time we have and we share how grateful it truly is. Essentially, sharing gratitude, turning to gratitude, and teaching it is really making a shift from the fixed mindset to a growth mindset in our kids and truly changing the perspective. And while gratitude doesn't always undo the struggle or take away the pain, it changes the perspective, distracts the mind from the negative, and brings so much peace with it. But really, the only way to truly understand the magic and the power that gratitude has is to start practicing it yourself. So maybe it's that morning routine. Maybe it's in those moments, just simply stating, in this moment, I'm grateful for. Maybe it's when you're laying in bed and you can't fall asleep at night. Or maybe it's all of it at once. Maybe it's just going to be here and there when you need it and when you're struggling the most. Or maybe you're going to actually get into that consistent routine. But I promise you, if you try for yourself, you will see it and it will truly change your perspective and how you live your days. So, as I end this message, I just want to express my gratitude for all of you for being part of this journey, for listening to my words, sharing your words, and just being on this growth journey with me. It's definitely something to be grateful for, to do it, linking arms together, because there's so much power in that, and I am forever grateful for that.